The stairs that I'm building are going to be coming down from that upper deck. We've got 10 stairs leading down to a platform which we're also going to build, and then the stairs are going to wrap around to the other side and lead down to the ground level. And the very first thing that we're going to do for this job is chuck a few posts in which are going to support the stairs. One thing I don't love about this job is that they've got the timber post going all the way into the ground. This is the way the job's been engineered and the builder wants to run it. If this is my house, I definitely would do concrete footings and have stirrups elevated out of the ground so that your post won't actually get in contact with the soil. These posts are H4 treated, they are made to be in contact with the soil, but they only last for about 15 to 25 years, which isn't great when you're building a new house and knowing that after 20 years you might need to replace or fix these posts. Alright, so those posts are in, we're just waiting for concrete, but we're going to mark out the stringers now. And what we're actually going to be doing is just routering out for a tread to go in like that, and there's going to be nothing for the riser. So we're just going to have a tread there, tread there, tread there, going the whole way down. Because we don't want the treads to be at the top of the stair, we're actually going to be offsetting them by 100 mil. The first thing I want to do is mark 100 mil, and I just want to go through and do a 100 mil line all the way down. Alright, so that mark we've done is going to be where we measure everything from. And for the stairs we're doing, we're going to have a rise of 187, which is marked there. So what I'm going to do is line that 187 up with the mark, and then our run is going to be 230. So I've also marked 230 there just so it's easy to see. We're going to mark both of those up. I might move it down a little bit, but we'll mark both of them up with that datum line we've done. And then we can just mark that. And then what's going to happen is we're going to router out down here. This is going to be the tread, and our tread is going to slip in like that, and that's going to be how the staircase looks. So what we're going to keep doing now is do that same process. I'm going to find where those two lines correspond. I'm going to get my 187 right on that point, line 230 back up with that 100 mil mark, and mark another one. And we're just going to keep doing the same process the whole way down. The string is marked out. These are the treads we're using. So what I'm going to do is just hold this to that pencil line. I'll take a second just getting that right. We'll get that right on that line. And then we're just going to mark the bottom of it. And that's going to be what we're using the router and rebating 10 mil through there. And we're actually going all the way through for these ones, and we're going to slide the treads through from the back like that. Alright, so we've marked out both stringers, we've mirrored them, so we've got both sides for this first staircase, which is going from that post down to those ones. What we're going to be doing is using the track saw. We're going to cut either side of the line for where the tread's going to go, and then we're going to use a router and take out 10 mil, and the treads are going to sit in that gap, and then we're going to get a few screws from the back going into them. Now the reason we're going through with the track saw first is I want to get a straight line on the top and bottom of every tread. If we went through and just tried to do that freehand with the router, there's no chance we're going to make it perfect. And we'll end up taking a little bit too much off here and there, and you'll see that in the final product. In doing this job, Oscar actually had the idea of coming up with a bit of a jig which we could clamp down, and the jig would have been big enough so we could move the router around where the treads are, and it would have held the router exactly in place so we wouldn't have taken any more off. I think this is a great idea, and it's something we contemplated doing, but it was still going to be a lot of work setting the jig up. And I've done it this way before, and I think it's almost just as quick, and it is definitely just as accurate with using the track saw and doing that first cut on the top and bottom. With that done, we actually went through with the routers twice. Oscar went through with the first pass by, and he took off 5 mil everywhere. And then I went through with my router set at 10 mil and took the rest of it out. Because the stringers are made out of merbau, they're a very thick, strong timber, so if we had our routers set at 10 mil from the start, it would have been way too slow, and they would have struggled to try and get through and router out that 10 mil that we needed.
Alright, so our stringers are ready to go. All we need to do now is chuck a beam at the bottom of these posts and put one on the top, and they're going to be what's holding and supporting our stringers in place. Now, we didn't actually have a height for what we had to build this platform at, so what we did was built the stringers first. Our plan showed us that they wanted 10 steps going down from the upper deck, and then wherever 10 steps got us, that's where the platform's going to be. The maximum rise that we can do in a step is 190, so to play it safe, we went 187, took a few mil off, and then we worked out the height that we're going to get to if we went down 187 by 10 steps. And that's how we found out what height we're building this platform at. And now that we got that first set of stringers in, and we've put that beam in for that little subfloor we're building, we know how many steps and the exact height that we need to work to do the last set of stringers heading down to the ground floor. So we're going to do the exact same thing we did last time with the tracks on the routers and quickly get those ready, and we're going to chuck those in and install them as well. Alright, so we've got both stringers cut, they're both set up in place ready to go, and the next thing we're doing is going to be building the landing, which is going to connect both sets of stairs together. For this landing, we're just going through with a few joists. They're going to go on the outsides of the post, and later we'll go through and bolt them into the post, holding them in place. And it's just very straightforward with a few joists in between them, and we're just going to lay some decking boards on top. Now, when doing stairs, one thing that I've seen people get wrong multiple times is they don't actually allow for the decking boards at the top and the bottom, or whatever the finished floor height's going to be. So if I went through and cut every single stair at 187, by the time we get to the bottom, it's going to be wrong. Our stringers are sitting directly on the subfloor. I'm going to have them supported on the subfloor, and then between the stringers, we're going to put decking boards down, meaning that decking board is going to eat up into that first step. So if I made that 187, that decking board is going to take off 20 mil from that step, making it 167 instead. So for that first step, I added an extra 20 mil, or actually it was 80 mil exactly, to account for the decking board. And then on that top step, I had to do the opposite thing. I made that last step 18 mil shorter than what it had to be, so then by the time we lay the decking boards on the top, it's going to boost it up to 187. And when you're building stairs, the tolerances are crazy. This is going to go through and get inspected, and if you have more than a couple mil difference between any of the stairs, it's an automatic fail. Even if that first step is out by a mil, and they gradually change by a mil here and there, if any of those stairs are out by, I think, 3 mil, I think that's what the tolerance is, it's going to be non-compliant. So we definitely build these to be to the millimeter. If one of them's out by up to 1 mil, that's okay, but you can't really have anything worse than that. Alright, so now we're ready for the fun stage, and we can actually put the treads in and make this job look like a proper staircase. Because of the way we've routed out the stringers, we can just go through and easily slide the treads in from the back. I've never done it this way. It doesn't look great from behind the stairs, but it definitely is a lot easier to install the stringers first and slide these through at the end. In saying that, it still was pretty tough to hit a few of these in. We wanted to make sure that we made these as tight as possible, so that there was no room for them to move, and more importantly, we didn't want people to be able to see any gaps when they walk up the stairs. And we're really happy with how they're looking upon hitting them in.
Alright, so before I put any more of the treads in, one thing we need to do is install these threaded rods. We've got 2 for that lower staircase and 3 for the top. And what we'll be doing is just drilling through the stringer, and these are going to go just underneath the step there, so you're going to barely see them. And we're going to bolt them off on either side. So for this one, we'll have about 1 there at the bottom, 1 in the middle, 1 at the top. And that's going to pull the stringers hard into the treads, making sure we've got no gaps like that. And they're all going to be sitting hard in like that, and there's going to be no way that those treads can slip out.
So these rods are holding the stringers tight together, which is pretty much clamping all the treads in place. And with them tightened off properly, these treads aren't going to slide out. But on top of that, we are going to go through as well and get a few screws into the treads going into the stringer. That's going to help support the weight and just make sure there's no movement. And no matter how hard you hit the treads from the front of the stairs, they're not going to slide out.
Alright, so we got the treads in. I will be going through soon and screwing them off and tightening those rods so they're locked in place. The other 2 things we're doing today is, firstly, I'm going to cut down these posts, and we're going to be doing a balustrade very similar to that one. We just got the timber handrail at the top, and then afterwards people are going to come through and they're going to do all the metal wire, which is going around the balustrade at the top and coming all the way down here for the staircase. So I'm going to cut these posts now, get that ready to go, and Oscar's headed off to Mitre 10 and he's going to grab all the deck in so we can build a deck here, and we've got to finish off the deck at the top as well.
To make the handrail tie in with the stringers and also the decking, we're also using mobile, and we're going to be using a 140 by 42 piece which goes along the top of the post. And then underneath that, people will be coming through and installing the wire, which is going to block off the space between the post, but we're not dealing with that. Now for the landing, it was pretty straightforward. The handrail was just going to be 1 meter high, but it does get a bit complicated when it comes to the stairs, because if we made that handrail go 1 meter high all the way to the stairs, that first step is really going up by 187, meaning that handrail is going to be 187 millimeters too short. For the smaller set of stairs, it worked out perfectly and we got that one done. But for the second set of stairs, the handrail didn't actually join on the post, but the handrail following the stairs had to go a little bit past the post to make it work. We did run short on the handrail though, so we couldn't get that one done. But we did also have to run into the shops, pick up a bunch of decking, and I just went through, finished off that little platform, decked all over that. And we also had a bit of work to do at the top of the stairs, because we made a little platform up there that the stringers sat on. We had to take off a lot of the decking boards and fade them in and fix up that deck up there as well. And we can see the top of the stringers are finishing flush with the decking, which does look great, but if I was doing this at my house, I would do it differently. The builder was told of materials and liked the finish of it finishing flush how we did it, so we did it that way for them. And what we did to secure it was to actually screw through the beam into the stringers holding it in place. What I would have loved to do though, is actually left that stringer going up over the deck so it could actually hook on over the platform. It actually makes it feel a bit sturdy because it's hooked over the deck, it's held in place by gravity, and you're not just relying on the screws to hold that in there.
Alright, so we're 99% done, but we just ran out of materials. We can see we got this landing done now, the deck's there, we've got the handrail going around. They do need to go through and put the wire through there. That's something we're not going to do. But we ran out of the material for the handrail. The pieces we had laying around, it just weren't long enough to go all the way back up there to the top. But we've also gone through and finished off most of the deck up here. We got to do a little ripboard down there. There's a few bits and pieces we got to do, but the majority of the job is done.